Can I have another lager, please?
Same for me.
What do you reckon?
It's good.
Another lager. No booze, no worries.
Good afternoon and welcome back to UQ. This is Dylan Kimlin, live with the PPL. I'm sitting here with Ben Abbott. How are we doing, Ben?
Fantastic. Yeah, we're into it now. It's business end of the tournament. We've got the women's 50-plus Masters gold medal match happening right now as we speak. So shout out to everyone tuning in across Australia and the world for PPL event number 2 here in Brisbane, Queensland.
Yeah, as we can see on the left side of the screen, we've got our ladies having a yarn with our official David J, and we will get stuck into it. We are very lucky to be playing on the new roll-on mats here for the PPL event. I know the PPL team have been working very hard to get it all sorted out. They've done a phenomenal job, and these courts look something special. Left side of the screen, we have Anita Smith from the sunny coast, and she will be duking it out with Mandy Corbett, who comes from Sydney, who ironically David also comes from Sydney, I believe, so we may have to keep an eye on our chatty referee for any potential bias. Of course, I'm joking. Anyone that knows David knows that he is one of the super duper ethical referees that we have in Australian sports. Ladies are ready to get underway. 0-0, Anita Smith serving. Ooh.
A lovely little start there from Anita Smith. A ball from Mandy Corbett just clipping the Yola net there.
That's a great shot there by Smith down the line, and that's a good point you can bring up Yola. They are providing the nets for this event, and a lot of the Australian crowd probably haven't used the Yola net before. I'm sure there's a lot of people taking a look at it. Might I say it looks incredible. We had a couple of players practicing on this net earlier and only heard positive things, so obviously thank them very much for being involved with our wonderful little event. I say little. I know tomorrow's day's play will not be little at all. That's called short. I think Mandy might be reviewing the footage afterwards and might have a different opinion whether that was long or short. Ben, do you believe in the commentator's curse?
Absolutely. I mention it all the time whenever I'm doing any sport. And I was going to mention it in our previous stream. I forget the play exactly. But, yeah, mate, there's nothing, I guess, more cringeworthy as a commentator when you mention something and somebody might be in a groove in their stride and feeling good and looking good, and all of a sudden there's an error and you're like, I can't help to think that that may have been my doing.
Yeah, good.
It's absolutely a thing.
It's an element that affects all commentators, it seems, because I suffer from it greatly. It's currently 0-4. Corbett serving. Ooh, she gets a lot of swing on that.
I was going to say the inside out deep serve. Almost a Shane Warne, a Warney leggy.
Yeah.
Or is it a Nathan Lyon? The off spin there.
Well, I guess if it's swinging in the air, it'd be more of a pace bowler, wouldn't it? But either way.
Yeah, Brett Lee, Binger.
Yeah.
McGrath, the pigeon, surely. Anyway, that return just sailing long. So continuing is Anita Smith, and aggressive start here in this game 1 for the women's gold medal match.
Yeah, and it has to be said that Smith, if you tuned in on any of the QPT events that I broadcasted last weekend, Smith took the gold in an absolute thriller. So she's in fine form. Currently 5. She's got a healthy lead. Beautiful sunset here at UQ. Not many better ways to spend your Friday, RV. We've got a restaurant Serving cool beverages to our left. People grabbing a feed, coming down to watch some pickleball. Good afternoon indeed. 5-0. That's called wide. Side out once more. Corbett to bring it in.
Stalemate midway through this first game. There's that serve again. Inside out. Back and forth we go.
Yeah, we do have a bit of a stalemate, but that does happen in singles quite a lot. Oh, drive just short for Mandy Corbett. (6-0), and these courts look so good. I have to once again give praise to the PPL team. Speaking of looking good, what a shot there by Smith. Driving it into the corner. Hard to return that one. Oh, what a shot. Mandy Corbett down the line. Beautifully placed. Ends that side out. So these games will be 3-11, win by 2. Sure, we make it to a third game, we will swap at 6.
Had some brilliant matches this afternoon to kickstart the second leg of the PPL tour. Little dribbler there. Small acknowledgement of the tape tickler, as some people may call it. Maybe that's just a me thing. New to the sport, new to the commentary, so...
You're doing tremendously well. And we have got a timeout here on the side of Corbett. While the ladies have a breather, we will quickly jump to some more commercials. Thank you once again to all of our sponsors for supporting PPL UQ.
Ready to discover a lifestyle designed for over 50s that lets you do you? Be inspired in your new home with high-quality finishes and relax in a resort-style community with no stamp duty or exit fees. There's more time for you to do you.
We are back. Thank you once again for tuning in. We've just had a quick point there via Smith. She has a healthy 8-point lead for this gold medal. Speaking of gold, how cool does Smith's paddle look? She's just rocking the gold herself.
Well, we're in a bit of a gold rush, obviously winning that QPT a couple of weeks ago. Looking to back it up.
Yeah, plenty of other gold games going on around us. We've got, I believe we're going to do another Masters Gold after this event, after this game. But tomorrow we will be showing all the golds. And it's going to be a fantastic day of pickleball. You can tune in and watch the best players in Australia duke it out. Ooh, just wide.
Mandy Corbett's first point. Second point, apologies of the game. I'll keep up. It's got sidetracked with the excitement that is day 2 here at PPL tomorrow here at UQ. Obviously a massive day, kicking off at 8 a.m. with the Masters 50 plus men's and women's doubles. Can be fast paced right from the get-go, so get your coffees in you early. Straight off the back of that at 10 a.m. open men's and women's doubles. And then the key mark of the event, the Pro Teams event at 3 p.m. Partnering with the NPL. We're streaming that on not only the Facebook and YouTube pages of the Pickleball Australia, but also Kojo jumping on board there, sending those images and streams all around the world. We get to showcase our fantastic talent here across Australia.
Yeah, it's pretty groundbreaking event for the Australian pickleball scene. Honestly, I know there's a genuine buzz in the air.
I was going to say, just what is the vibe of the community right now, obviously off the back of these two huge announcements?
Well, I think it's almost not a sense of awe, but it's like, okay, pickleball's legit now. Like there's a real recognition of the sport. Ah, beautiful shot. Corbett. Momentum building.
Yeah, it's incredible seeing some of the posts that have gone up on social media, the comments of the players, the community, the fans, the enjoyment simply from seeing something new come to this space. It's a big smash there from Anita Smith. You mentioned the vibe. You can absolutely feel it when you get on site here down at UQ. A lot of really positive energy.
Yeah, it's probably the best way to describe it. Hey, everyone's just seems to be enjoying themselves, relishing the moment, relishing the fact that we've got it's the best of everyone. We've got the best refs, the best players. Obviously you getting on board, Ben, with the commentary team is the best.
Oh mate, you tooted my horn way too early. It's only day one, please sir.
But it's top notch, and I think the Australian scene deserves a bit of, how do I word it, just a bit of a reward. We've been working together so hard across both state and national bodies and all the committees and clubs involved. So it's nice. We've worked tirelessly, and our reward is getting to watch the best in the country battle it out.
Absolutely, isn't that just a credit? And obviously a massive shout out to every single person involved who has made not only the PPL tour possible, but obviously that next step, that massive leap, and a partnership with the MPL as well. And all the sponsors on board supporting us all on the way. Of course, Eula and Pickle Roll as well, kitting us out with the best in the business, surface and net. So we're into it here, continuing on. 4 points serving 9. Corbett with the serve.
Oh, she had the opportunity.
It's actually just lost her footing a little bit there.
Yeah.
We spoke about in the previous stream as well, the importance of balance at the point of contact. And it's such a fast-paced, ever-moving game.
It's currently 9-5. We've got a strong breeze blowing right now, affecting play.
Oh.
That has just gone long.
A nice little shape on that shot there. Potentially the breeze is giving a little bit of extra lift late on this Friday afternoon.
Currently a game point opportunity here for Smith.
Just peppering that right-hand sideline.
Yeah, she is very consistent, Anita. Cruise control takes game 1. The ladies will quickly swap sides, and then we'll get underway for game 2. While we do that, we will go to some commercials from the wonderful people that Ben just mentioned. Thank you.
ready to discover a lifestyle designed for over 50s that lets you do you? Then you're ready to discover a Stockland Halcyon community. Be inspired in your new home with high-quality finishes in a community filled with resort-quality facilities that lets you unleash your passions. Whether it's relaxing with new neighbours that have become good friends on a whim, knowing your community is secure. With no stamp duty, no exit fees and no worries. There's more time for you to do you. Discover a Stockland Halcyon community today.
We are back for game 2. Ladies have just started play. I believe it's 1-0 to Corbett's favour. Good hustle.
I was going to say,
ATP.
very,
Oh, what a shot.
Wow, very different level of aggression here from Mandy Corbett. Coming in, absolutely firing. Jumped out to a 2-love lead.
That was awesome hustle. Cutting across too, that's not an easy shot to pull off. Well played. 2-0. If you are just tuning in, Anita Smith took game 1. We're currently watching the game 2 of the gold medal.
This is really interesting. The change of end, potentially the change of conditions here for the two ladies here on centre court. As Anita Smith gets a side out that she was chasing. She'll go to the serve now. Now that first game as well, we saw Anita pepper the right-hand side there of Mandy Corbett. The tactics remain the same, do you think?
Well, I mean, there's no point fixing something that ain't broken.
What's that saying again?
Yeah, something along those lines. So I imagine, speaking of
Don't fix
peppering,
what ain't broke.
that was a great shot there by Smith, ripping it down the line. Gets her first point of the game, 1-3.
Oh, you could see the intent there from Mandy. Had all the momentum, just had to flick away down that line. Just the tape a little bit higher on the outside of the net there.
Yeah, so that's a good point you make, Ben, that if you look down from where we're currently visiting, you can see that the middle of the net is at a shorter length than the two sides of the net. For anyone that hasn't been involved in tournaments or refereeing, that is standard.
Now, mate, I've been told you are the technician, the tactician, all of the above for the sport of pickleball. What's the measurements, diameters we're working with here for a stock standard pickleball court?
You've caught me off guard on the net question. I think it's... I have a feeling
is
it's
human.
34 and 36 or 37. Now, you've got to keep in mind the pickleball scene uses a lot of American or metric. They use a lot of inches and whatnot, feet and inches. So it can be a little bit confusing coming across to try and learn all of that. Like, I know the court dimensions, it's super easy because it's in big even numbers. But regarding your net heights, you'll see a lot of, at events, you may see referees walking around with broomsticks. The reason for that is the broomsticks have the measurements on them. So you just stand the broomstick up and it just says exactly what the length should be. I'm sure David has one tucked away. If any of our players muck up, he pulls it out.
Fair enough. Well orchestrated play there from Anita Smith. Just dropping it short. Again to that right side there of Mandy Corbett. And then just centres herself in her half of the court. Puts the volley away to the opposite side there. So fairly well poised here. Early days in game 2. 2 serving 4. Smith with a little bit of momentum. Commentator's curse. We spoke about it earlier. It happens right then.
Yeah, we've got a timeout here on the side of Anita Smith as well. Anita just wanting to recoup. I think she made a pretty simple error there on the drive. Just wants to kill that momentum of the opposition and get her mind back in it. We'll quickly go to another commercial break while the ladies are doing so.
Ready to discover a lifestyle designed for over 50s that lets you do you? Be inspired in your new home with high quality finishes and relax in a resort style community. With no stamp duty or exit fees, there's more time for you to do you.
Welcome back. Ben and I have just had a strong breeze blow through. Hold your hats. Currently 5-2, Corbett with a healthy lead of this game 2. I don't know if these ladies are aware of it, but I'm fairly certain this is the first Australian game to be played on a rolled out court.
Oh, history making.
That I'm aware of. I could be wrong, and if I am wrong, please let me know in the comments section. That's called out.
We just didn't have a chat with the athletes afterwards. We saw a couple of the well-known players, the likes of Sarah Burr out here testing out the court, the surfaces, the Pickleball playing area as we have on our screen right now. And just to see how the ball tracks, how the ball flies. Obviously we're sitting on top of one of UQ's fantastic tennis courts.
Yeah, I think the nets have been, the courts have been absolutely amazing. And like you said, we had a couple of players from the Gold Coast Glory and Brisbane Breakers duking it out. Anita Smith with a mild error there. Currently 6-2. Corbett with a 4-point lead. Make that 5-point lead.
That was a weapon of a serve. That was skimming the top of that tape there. Sitting courtside level with the playing surface. Corbett in a groove.
She gets so much movement on the ball. Like that.
Say, if you just watch the execution, the tail end of the swing, you can just see a little wrist snap. A little flick of the wrist.
Yeah, that tailed out of the way. Smith unable to return. And this is very similar to what we saw in the last game that you and I covered, Ben. In the middle of the second game, a bit of a steamroll. It's up to Smith to try and bounce back here. You've got to give credit to Corbett, though. Losing game 1, this is a very strong response.
Oh, that is a tactical smash. Took a little bit of pace off and just placed it finally to the right-hand sideline. Mandy Corbett, the 6'0" athlete, in control.
Yeah, I don't know if we had a timeout call, or if we're just having a brief wipe of the face. Good to go, and that is totally allowed. (10-2), game point opportunity here for game 2. Oh, that's the one that you apologise for. The net roll working in Anita Smith's favour.
Net roll, that's the terminology we're looking for.
That's the terminology I use. I don't know if everyone else uses it. But
What do we make of the tape tickler? Put that out there to the pickleball fans out there. It may not be a fancied upon phrase, terminology.
I mean, they can let us know, and let me say, pickleball community is pretty vocal. But we have weird names for everything. Like,
I love it.
It's called Pickleball. Like, it's-
Let us know.
and that's gone wide. But also the kitchen.
Yeah, right.
So
Starting up on this sport, the kitchen was in a YouTube tutorial video,
yep.
and I got distracted.
Yeah, you don't want to
Didn't
be
know where it was
caught.
going.
Don't want to be caught in the kitchen. Especially, you can't be caught hitting the ball on the full while in the kitchen. It's also known as the non-volley zone. Not sure what happened there. Either way, 10-2. Game point once more.
Oh, right in the corner. Smith returning with authority, keeping this game alive. Spoke about momentum earlier, Dylan. Is there enough momentum in Smith's game from previous events, your experiences with her? It's a long way back from here, but is it a possibility within Smith's game?
Well, I mean, to climb the mountain, you've got to start at base camp, and it's up to Smith to pull it out. Oh, that's called
potentially.
wide. So right now we've got a challenge here on the side of Corbett. David J has confirmed that it has gone out. But you're right. Look, Smith won the QPT event that was on recently. She's definitely got the class to be able to pull it through, but I think it's more, you've got to look at the pressure on the other side too. A lot of players get caught on 10 points. It can be a very daunting number to get that final point to win the game.
Arguably like the 99 and 100. In the cricket.
Correct. Exactly like that. So there's a side out. You can see Smith trying to get that drive in. 10-3. Corbett will be doing her best to finish this off. She does not want to hang around on 10. And that's what happens.
That'll get it done. 11-2. Game 2 done. We're going to a third and deciding.
We are going through to a game 3, and that's exactly what you want for a gold medal. So keeping in mind, ladies and gentlemen at home, that the players will swap at 6. Once the first player gets to 6. We won't run through to commercials. I think you and I can have a chat about the conditions currently, Ben. So for the viewers at home, the sun is setting pretty quickly now here at UQ. The lights are on. Temperatures, what do you reckon the temperature is? Quite nice.
Yeah, it's quite mild. Obviously, that breeze is adding a little bit of wind chill to the air, but not too much. I'd say probably you'd be looking at maybe 20 degrees around that point. So, yeah, you'd argue this is pretty perfect conditions. As a novice to the game, I think it's pretty good.
Oh, I think this is spot on. I mean, if the wind is the only thing, and even then the wind hasn't been that crazy, if the wind is the only thing that is a condition that the players need to be aware of, then, we're laughing. So, beautiful conditions, beautiful Friday evening or afternoon here. And it looks like Smith and Corbett are hopping back on the court for our Game 3 of the Masters Singles Gold Medal.
All to play for, of course, this weekend is huge in the sport of pickleball here in Australia, the PPL. Combining with the MPL for a major event tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, Major League Pickleball, pretty crazy to consider that we are a big enough fish now for the Australian scene to be broadcasted. It's my understanding it's the first international event that MLP have been involved with.
That it is.
Oh, Corbett had it. Unsuccessful.
In the kitchen.
Yep.
Reaching. Looking for this volley smash.
Currently 1-0. Smith taking the first point of the game.
Oof. So just into the tape there, looking for the backhand slice. Not quite converting. 2-0 scoreboard to open up this third and deciding game. Women's 50 plus gold medal match, drop shot to perfection. Anita Smith, if you do not mind.
Yeah, strong start. I think Anita wouldn't have been very pleased with herself after that game too. She's a very competitive lady and becoming out firing. Corbett, on the other hand, we were talking about momentum and pickleball being a sport of it. You know, she's had this very strong game too. She's got to refine that form.
Oh, Corbett. Full control at that point, the entire rally. Getting her first points on the board here.
It strikes again.
I think that's 2 for me today.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep stats throughout the weekend. Not something I hope to improve on.
It's so unfortunate. And on a serving error, which we've just seen 2 in a row, Smith, monkey see, monkey do, the serving errors are so frustrating because everyone knows that it's something you shouldn't be making a mistake on.
It's probably one of the few skills. Oh, that is rough. Tightrope action. But it's one of the few skills and few moments in a game, in a match of pickleball where it's all in your control. You go back to that baseline, it's all in your control. Everything else, your opponent dictates your next shot.
Yeah, you're spot on. And the serve is such a... I feel the Australian scene as that is a phenomenal shot. It's called out.
Yeah, just missing that sideline there. We spoke about the conditions earlier as well. You know, the court itself, like just skipping off that line, but just evading that right-hand sideline on Anita Smith's side. But you were mentioning the serve and what that can be for your rally to initiate your point.
That's right. I think the serve and the return are 2 of the most underrated plays that can be perfected, I suppose, in the Australian pickleball scene. I don't think we talk about it enough, especially in singles. I've covered a couple of players that have absolute missiles of serves, and consequently they play singles very well because they start the rally immediately on the right foot.
Oh, that ball there from Anita Smith, flirting with the sideline. Somehow keeps that rally alive.
I wonder if Corbett has like a table tennis background, because or maybe a squash background. She has a lot of wrist movement with the play, especially the way she drops the ball. It's very interesting.
We can see it off her serve as well.
Yep, good
Just
call.
the inside out slider.
It's currently 4-1 of this gold medal. Smith under pressure here by Corbett.
Oh, firefights. Going the way this time of Mandy Corbett. These ladies leaving everything on the court.
Yeah, that's
Love to see it.
To be expected. I've been saying for a while now the 35s and the 50 plus division is, if you're not watching Open, you should be watching these divisions. The 35s and the 50s are crazy. They're always tightly fought games. So, very exciting. And as expected, the ladies are putting on a show.
Slightly different tactics coming into this game as well. Like a lot of flirting with the baseline on both ends. Like big rallies. You see that shot there from Anita Smith and Mandy Corbett right back to the corner as well. Both playing with that baseline and pushing the perimeter of this pickleball centre court here at UQ.
Yeah, point proven. I mean, the single play style is generally revolved around those corner drives. You want to be tucking it into the corner, but occasionally you'll mix it up. It's a tied game, 4 apiece.
Oh, venom.
Just such a good backhand drive.
Spoke about Mandy Corbett's her wrist action and manipulation of her shots. That one there just opening up the shoulder all the way through to the socket.
Well, rally.
Oh, just wide. Incredible stuff here.
And that's a 6-4 2-point lead to Corbett. As the first players reach 6 for this third game, the players will swap sides of the court. They can have up to 2 minutes. And as such, we will quickly jump into a commercial break while we wait for them to get ready for their next passage of play. And we are back as the players are underway. It's currently 7-4 to Corbett. Mandy. That is the strut of a confident woman.
Some Mandy magic. Tagging that sideline. Using every millimetre of this court.
Not wrong, and we talked about her strikes of the ball tend to tail. So when she hits something as close to the line of that, it adds that extra little bit to it to make it very difficult to return.
Lovely drop shot.
Oh, in the kitchen.
Corbett's there.
Play it on.
Oh, I managed to avoid getting out of the kitchen. We see a little cheeky hop.
Well,
you jump into those shots.
It's very interesting because if you're caught, if you jump out of the kitchen and hit the ball still mid-air, that is a fault. So in that passage of play, our official Jay must have recognised that she had already been in a rooted position. She was safe. So well done to Corbett, is what I'm saying. Just the acrobatic act. Well played. And we may see a timeout coming up from the side of Anita Smith.
A little bit of frustration coming out of Anita Smith there. I don't know if you can hear that on the mic or not, but she's throwing everything she can. It's just missing by millimetres on those sidelines. A really good rally here. Bris picks up mid-rally as well, but Corbett can do nothing wrong at this point in time, bringing up herself a game and a match point here.
Well,
gold medal point.
Gold medal point, yeah. Pretty exciting stuff. Corbett has just cranked it up to 11. Ironically, the point that she's aiming for right now.
Not done yet, Anita Smith. You're going to say, ironically, the point that she's caught on was the one she was caught on in the previous game as well?
Yes, spot on. Yeah, she was on 10 for quite a while, Corbett, but Smith wanting none of that nonsense and blasts the ball into the corner. Gets the side out. Earns herself the point. The serve once more. Currently 4-10.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's called wide.
Now some frustration as well from Mandy Corbett.
Well, that's the thing. There's so much mental aspect to pickleball that a lot of people don't recognise. Net roll's good. Ball's still live.
Oh, opportunity goes begging. Hustling and staying in the rally, in the point. Mandy will go back and serve for the match.
Yep. Mandy Corbett, coming from Sydney, has absolutely dominated in this Game 2 and Game 3 to take the gold phenomenal effort by Anita Smith. Will be very happy with the silver as well. Thank you to David J for refereeing this game. I imagine we're about to get underway with the men's gold medal straight away after this, so don't go too far. This is Dylan Kimberlin and Ben Abbott from UQ St. Lucia. Wonderful PPL event. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll be back live very soon.